You're listening to 419 Education and Training Need to Connect podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Need to Connect podcast with myself, Devonna Willis, with 419 Education and Training and the Black Massage Therapist Conference. And today we have the icon, Mr. Benny Vaughn. He's been in the industry for a long time, and he is one of those people that you want to know. You want to hear what he has to say because he's seen it all. So, Mr. Vaughn, I'll have you take over. Just let them know where you're from and your bio and all the things that you've been accomplishing over these many years of being a massage therapist and athletic trainer like myself, because there's not that many of us in the industry that are an athletic trainer and a massage therapist. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Devonna Willis. I am so thrilled to be here with you because you yourself are a pioneer in so many ways in both of the careers that we share. And another piece, Devonna, that you may not know is that we both have degrees in health education as well.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So I didn't think you knew that, but that's what my degree is. From the University of Florida.
Okay.
Was health education.
Right.
And my certification track was health promotion, because I knew and saw the direction back in the 70s and 80s where things were going for wellness and self-care, which is why being a massage therapist now is more important than ever in the delivery of wellness services in America.
Period.
So if you are a massage therapy student now, if you are getting involved with massage, if you have graduated and you're beginning your career, just know that you will always have opportunities to provide a service that truly makes a difference in civilization and in society. And that's using structured touch that's backed by science and experience.
Right.
That makes a difference. So now, those of you who are watching this are wondering, well, how is it and why is it that this person, me, knows so much about this? So here's the thumbnail sketch of my career. So first, let me begin by saying, so that you can get a perspective here, I'm 73 years old, okay? 73 years young.
Ooh.
So I began my massage therapy career when I was 24.
Oh.
When I was 24 years old. And I began that career not knowing what awaited me, but I began that career fully committed to being the best version of me. And by going into it with that attitude, I didn't go into it with the attitude like, oh, this will be a part-time job. This will be something that'll supplement this or that.
Right.
You have to be fully committed, Devonna. You have to be fully committed to the now. This is what I'm doing now. I'm doing massage now. Therefore, let me put my focus on the now and do what I can with what I have where I am.
Right.
So I've been doing this 49 years. So next year, Devonna, next September of 2025, I will celebrate 50 years as a working licensed massage therapist.
Wow.
So for those of you listening, I'm still doing massage. When I finish this with you, Devonna,
yes,
I will change and I will go to my massage therapy suite and start seeing people.
Yes. Hear that, people? He's
This
still seeing
73-year-old
people.
man, I'm still seeing people and have been my whole career. And
Amazing.
I'm coming to you from my state-of-the-art massage therapy clinic,
Mm.
which I built from the ground up.
Oh,
So
really?
this building was built to house massage therapy.
Wow. How many
Yeah.
suites do you have?
So I have 8 therapy suites. Well, let me just describe the building.
Right.
So the building is a 2-story, 10,000 square foot building.
Oh, wow.
And the idea that I had
Mm-hmm.
was to make this a one-stop wellness center.
Right.
So on the first floor,
Mm-hmm.
we have a 4,000 square foot strength training complex. We have a weight room. On the first floor, we have a sports psychologist.
Nice.
And then we come up to the second floor where I am, which is all the massage therapy services. So I designed the floor plan specifically to support massage therapists.
I love it.
And I took everything that I had learned in my career
Right.
and put that into the design with the architect, Cunningham Architects out of Dallas,
Mm-hmm.
did the rendition of what I imaged in my head. And the Reynolds family of Reynolds Electrical Supply
Mm-hmm.
financed the entire project.
Really?
And that's a fancy way of saying they paid for it.
Right.
All right. So I'm in a $3.25 million building. That's what the last appraisal appraised it at. $3.25 million building that was specifically built and designed for massage therapy.
Wow. I need to visit. Is
You,
there
you
room?
do.
Is there a
You
place
need to
I could
visit.
teach a class there?
I can make a place to teach because we have, it gets even better. We have 3 buildings in what we call our campus. So we built 3 buildings. And one of those buildings has a full-size basketball gymnasium.
What?
We can seat 300 people in there.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
So
I need to visit. It's in Dallas, right?
Fort Worth, Texas. So that's just
Yeah, right
32
there.
miles east of Dallas.
Right.
Just
I can.
jump on, I-20
Right.
and just
Oh my
I-30 pop over there.
gosh. I gotta visit. I had no idea.
Yes, you should visit because this is the Taj Mahal of massage therapy in America right here
So how
because I
many
designed it
therapists you
that way.
have? How many therapists do you have like renting or working for you?
Yeah, so the way this is set up is all of the massage therapists here, they lease space in the facility.
Okay.
And here's what I provide for them.
Mm-hmm.
So the entire facility, the whole building is clad in pure copper, Ivana.
Mm.
Pure copper. In fact, when we were building it
Mm-hmm.
and the construction crews were putting the copper roofs on and the copper siding, it was that shiny penny look. Okay. It was stopping traffic. People were like, what are
is
they
that?
doing over? They're not using brick or stone.
Right,
No,
right.
we're using copper. And let me tell you why we're using copper, Devana.
Why?
Because copper deflects and reduces electromagnetic frequencies from microwave phone towers that are all over the place.
Oh.
So we're not getting all these EMFs
Got you.
bombarding
Yep.
us all day
Mm-hmm.
because we're in this building working all day.
That's good.
Yes.
Because a lot
So
of like when when you have a new construct, a lot of them are using copper wiring, right?
mhm,
And
yeah,
so when you said that, I was like, okay, that makes
yeah,
sense. But you were
yeah.
advanced. You knew this. How long you been in this building?
So we've been in this building 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So that way, the massage therapist, everybody feels great when they're inside this building
Mm-hmm.
because it's blocking that from the microwave towers and the high power tension lines. Now we need those things. We got to have microwave towers.
Right.
So you and I can have this call.
Right.
We've got to have it so we can, so you can call me in Paris during the Olympics,
Right.
okay?
Right.
So I'm just going to give you a few other pieces that I put in to support massage therapists. All right. So I have 8 therapy suites and I call them suites and not rooms.
Okay.
Because I believe in the power of words.
That part.
So when a client comes in to see me for a massage, what I say to them, Devana, is, okay, let's go to the VIP therapy suite. I actually say that. I actually say after I do my intake
Right.
and get any history information that I require, any SOAP note information, I then say to them, okay, Devana, I have some good information here from you. Let's go to the VIP therapy suite and get you taken care of. Now, didn't that bring a smile to your mind?
Yeah, because I'm like, wow,
when I
I'm about to be taken care of. This, I'm getting to the top of the top.
Because we're going to the VIP therapy suite. I don't ever say, let's go back to the massage room.
Right.
I don't say, let's go in here to the massage room. I keep it very expansive. We're going to the VIP therapy suite.
So let me ask you this. So for people who say, well, of course you're going to say VIP because you're Benny Vaughn, right? What about, Joe off the street or someone brand new? Should they still use that language VIP, or if they're working for one of the franchises, should they still use that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And yes.
Okay.
Okay. Because here's the deal. In massage therapy, we are so privileged to serve people in this way through the power of touch, the authenticity of touch, the sincerity of touch. So we have this wonderful privilege to express this to the people that we serve through touch. So why not say VIP therapy suite?
I like
now,
it.
Yeah. And so if you are just beginning your career, let's begin your career by thinking and having the thought energy that you are the very best. I mean, why would you think to yourself after massage school, I'm not very good at this. I can't do this.
Right.
Because I know that's not what you're teaching your students.
No. Oh, no.
So tell them, express who it is as a massage therapist that you desire to be. So you express that in the way you present yourself to your clients, the way you speak to your clients.
Yes.
Speak like you are the very best.
Have that confidence.
Act like you are the very best. Think that you're the very best.
Right.
Because if you're shooting for the stars and you land on the moon, you've gone pretty far.
You have. See, everyone, this is why he's our keynote speaker at our 2nd annual Black Massage Therapist Conference this year. So thank you on that. I have a quick question. So we're looking in the background and we see the flag, the American flag, and we also see the flag for USA Olympics. And so we have some massage therapists was like, how did you do that? How do I get into it? Can you give little tips or things or people who they need to be around or network with in order to make those connections to have that opportunity?
Oh, yeah. So here's how it's worked for me, Devana. Like you, participated in athletics when I was a younger lad, I might add. A younger lad. Okay. And so I've always loved sports. I love sports. I know you love sports also, Devana.
Yes.
And so I took my services early in my career to people who were involved in sport. So the sports that I was interested in particular, were track and field, but also football, basketball, baseball. But I was also interested in dancers. working with dancers and working with tennis players. And so I made myself available to that part of the population by letting that part of the population know that I existed. So the way you get involved in is that you are required to get visibility, to make people aware that you exist and this is what you do. So you could begin by going to track meets, and go to a track meet and set up a table and a tent. I'd say 2 or 3 massage therapists can do that. And then make a connection with some coaches.
I like that.
And I'll tell you who you can make the connection with. Make a connection with athletic trainers who are not trained in massage, but are required to provide massage services. So you go to that athletic trainer of that team. It could be a high school team. It could be a community college team, and offer your services. Just say, hey, love to help out with the, Tuscaloosa Tigers here. And, I can help do some recovery massage that'll free you up to take care of the athletic training, sports medicine piece of this. And so you offer your services as part of a team approach, and not just my massage would be better than whatever you're doing, but come in with a collaborative attitude, with a team attitude, and with an attitude of giving.
I like that. I like that for 2 reasons. Number one, as an athletic trainer, you're right. Because once they know, when I was at Columbia, they knew I was an athletic trainer. I had people who wasn't part of my teams trying to get a massage from me, right? So, Devonna, can you? Nope. I'm in my season. Like you said, my trackies, that was part of my season. And anyway, but I like that too, is especially the high school, the secondary athletic trainers, they need the assistance, right? So any help that they can get outside, they need somebody. So I do definitely like going to the high school and getting in front of the athletic trainers and setting up. That's a great idea.
I'm gonna wave my arms here. The lights in my office here are on motion detectors.
Oh, okay.
So I've just got to let them know I'm still here.
You're still here, so it doesn't go out.
Yeah. So all the lights in the massage therapy suites are on motion detectors, but they're on digital dimming systems. So you actually don't even have to use them.
Nice.
But if there's no movement for 5 minutes, then it's a way to keep the utility bill at where it needs to be.
Right.
But I'll just throw in another piece here. So every massage therapy suite in my facility has windows, Devonna. Every single one of them. And every single suite is 144 square feet.
It's a good size.
That's 12 by 12. That's a good size. And every massage therapy suite, I purchased electric high-low tables for the massage therapists so that they can protect themselves when using good, proper body mechanics.
I preach that all the time. Body mechanics. That's awesome. That's awesome. So on the note from the whole going to, being part of the Olympics, so you're around those type of people, you network with those people, and then, hopefully you'll hear what's going on with the trials and different things of that nature. Is that correct?
That's correct. But here's the big piece. Here's the big piece. So I've had 2 of my most current massage therapists do this because they came to me with this exact same question that you asked, Ivana. How do I do this? And one of the things that really makes a difference is to go to one of the 3 Olympic training centers and do a volunteer rotation, which is 2 weeks. And what that looks like.
What's that V word that you just used?
Oh, volunteer.
I'm just saying,
you got it.
Some people, they always want to get paid for everything, but sometimes you have to just put the work in and then it's going to come back to you triple fold. But go ahead, the
Exactly.
volunteer part.
Let's even take that word volunteer
Right.
and replace it with service. Do 2 weeks of service. So if someone watching this is challenged by the word volunteer, is to change it to service.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to be of service, because we know that to receive requires you to give. It requires you to give, because there's abundance out there for all of us, Devana, for all of us. But our willingness to take action and give and to be of service returns to you. So when I began offering services to college athletic teams at the University of Florida
Okay.
in 1985, so I went to the various coaches, and I went to the University of Florida women's tennis team. I went to the University of Florida gymnastics team, and I went to there was a third team in there, gymnastics, tennis, the men's track team.
Okay.
And what I was told by every coach was, oh, we don't have this in the budget. Oh, it's the swim team. Wasn't a track team, it was a swim team.
Okay.
Oh, we don't have this in our budget. We can't do this. And so I thought, well, the coaches don't know the impact that this will have yet. So I said, what if we provided this for one season
Oh.
at no cost to you, and then you take a poll with your athletes, and so it was about like a 3-month commitment.
Yeah, no, a season, I know that's 3 months of service.
Yes. So I contacted several massage therapists in Gainesville, Florida, and said, hey, look, here's this deal I got. Will you come and help me? Okay, I had a number of them, Devana, like you just said, well, no, I need to get paid. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm saying, like, you will get paid, just not now.
Right.
And so they didn't see it. So what they saw, Devana, is that this is a cost to me. And the way I saw it was, this is an investment.
Right.
This is an investment.
Different mindset.
And so fast forward, the massage therapist who stuck with me, the next year, every one of those teams put massage in their budgets. And to this day at the University of Florida, massage therapists are paid by the University Athletic Association to provide massages. They're paid now because I set that pace in motion. And there are other universities that are doing this, that are using this model.
Nice. So basically, everyone, you have to invest in yourself, in your business, and in the industry, right? Because we're still educating people on what we do, right? There's different forms of massage therapy, but when you're doing this type of work, sports specific, rehab, prevention, different things on that level, you still have to educate people, right? And so
Yes.
this is part of it. This is part of it. So I love that you said, give me a season and then poll the student athletes, because you already know what it was going to be. But the coaches already saw their performance too. They saw the recovery, they saw the performance, they seen it. So they, of course, they went to the AD, which is the athletic director, and say, hey, we need to add this to our budget.
Yeah. Let me add one last piece to the service investment that you make at the Olympic Training Center. So if you are watching this now, after you finish watching this amazing conversation with myself and Devana, go online and navigate your way through the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee website. Find your way to the medical category, and then find your way to volunteer opportunities. Fill out an application to be a volunteer massage therapist at one of the 3 Olympic training centers. Get your name in the queue. The only way that anyone will know you exist is that you have to let them know that you exist. So fill out a volunteer application online, submit it as a massage therapist, and then you will be notified about any volunteer investment opportunities at the Olympic Training Center. So you get yourself out there, but they'll house you and feed you. But you get yourself there.
It's an investment.
Yeah, so you'll either go to Colorado Springs, Colorado, Lake Placid, New York, or the one in California, and it's suddenly escaping me where the training center is in California, but it'll be on the website.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that information. And everyone, if you're interested, please follow everything he said. Don't just go to the website. Start with going to the schools and the other, the local schools and colleges and schools in your area. Let's start there first. And so get your name out there. So I have some other questions. So do you believe being a Black massage therapist, you started in the 70s, impacted the way you practice and the relationships that you built over the years?
Well, I would say this, Devonna. I think just being an African-American, period, whether you're a massage therapist or an accountant or a doctor or a pilot, the impact is the same. We're living in a society in the United States of America. History has already described all of these things. So what I would say is that I found and continue to look for the seed of good. Now, I will often joke with friends and colleagues about some of the advantages of being a Black man in America.
Let's hear it.
Because, sometimes it's full of light and stuff. So, as a Black man in America, I have never had to wait in line at an ATM. Because as soon as I pull up, that line clears. Okay. It's an event. I've never had to wait in line to withdraw any money in an ATM. Okay. I always have an empty seat next to me at the movie theater where I can put my winter coat, my picnic lunch, baby carriage, whatever I want. Because I don't ever have to worry about anybody trying to sit next to me. Okay? I'm just saying, let's put this in perspective. There's a seed. Right. There is a seed of good in everything, Devon. Now, in all seriousness, I approach this the way I approach everything in society. So let me begin by saying this. So my family is from Georgia, all around Albany, Georgia, Americus, Georgia. And my family on my mother's side was quite involved in the civil rights movement in Georgia. So I have uncles and aunts who were arrested. They knew Martin Luther King Jr. So I come from a family of African-American leaders in the Deep South, in our own way. They're not famous people on TV and all that, but they were people behind the scenes with Martin Luther King Jr., et cetera. So from the very beginning, my life has taken that path. So I have a number of moments where I was the first and only African-American boy to be on sports teams. There's a photo in my office here where I am right now of me on my first Little League baseball team, which was essentially an all-white baseball team. And I was just the Jackie Robinson of Little League baseball.
I believe
all right. So I have that picture. I have another picture on here of me with my teammates in 1970 at the University of Florida. So it's something that you may or may not know about me, Devonna, is that I was in the first wave of African American athletes to enter the Southeastern Conference in
No.
sports. So in 1969, I arrived at the University of Florida to run track on a full athletic scholarship
Okay.
coming out of the state of Georgia. And there was a total of 5 African American athletes at the University of Florida in 1969. 2 football players, Willie Jackson and Leonard George, and 3 on the track and field team, Johnny Brown, Ron Coleman, and Benny Vaughn. There was a total of 112 African American students on a campus of 28,000. So I say this to you, Devonna, that my entire life
It's been like that.
has been like this. So when I got to massage therapy, I was already prepared. I already knew how to handle situations. So the one thing that came up for me as a young massage therapist, my first job was at a facility called the Gainesville Executive Health Club. And so I worked in the massage area. And so my routine was I did 12 to 14 30-minute massages a day. I worked every other day. I worked on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
Okay.
And I worked in a windowless massage room that when I would do effleurage, my hip could touch the wall, Devonna.
It's tight. Like a 9 by 10.
Oh my, I'm not even sure it was 9 by 10. It might have been. I might have hoped it would be 9 by 10. So here's my point.
Right.
So here's what I began to run into. But because I grew up in the Deep South, I get it. I can manage myself because what my aunts and uncles who were involved in the civil rights movement taught me is that it's your perception of what's happening that can dictate your actions. So you perceive it in a way and look for the opportunity to make a difference.
Okay.
And so it's your perception. So the one thing that I would notice is that I would have a white client show up, typically a white male. So there could have been 2 things going on here that I'll say in a moment. And so they would come in and check out. I would come out, introduce myself, that, I'll be your massage therapist, blah, 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 and follow me. And this is what would sometimes happen. Not often, but it happened enough where it got my attention. Oh, I left my wallet in the car. I'll be right back. Well, I knew they weren't coming back.
Right.
I knew they weren't coming back. Oh, hey, I'm Benny Vaughn. Oh, man, let me run down I forgot my wallet. I knew they weren't coming back because once they took a look at me, whatever their paradigms were,
right,
they're like, oh, okay. Oh, I can't do this,
right.
Now, one part of it could have,
excuse me for 1 second. So nowadays, there's been people, especially in the Facebook group that we have, that literally they're not as subtle anymore. They're like, oh, I don't want that person. I want that. I want the white therapist.
Oh my.
Yeah. So some people.
Wow.
Yep. Even in 2024.
Yeah. See, I'm not as plugged into the technology as you are, but it's just a reflection of what the reality is out there. So, and then the other has been like, since I have been in Fort Worth, Texas, and I'll share with the audience in a moment how I just made all this vanish. What would happen is that I talk with someone on the phone, and this would be typically an athlete, like a high school athlete. So the parents are coming with them because I require a parent to be in the therapy suite if they're not 18.
Okay.
And so they're in the suite when I'm doing the work so that one, they can see what I'm doing, and two, so I can explain to them how we're helping their child.
Right.
So I can remember once mom and dad show up with their athlete who was a female volleyball player, quite good. And when I walked out into the reception area, and you know this one, Devon, I got that look like, oh.
Yep. You know the look.
Okay. Yeah. And the look is like, oh, you didn't sound black on the phone.
Right.
Oh. And you know why? Because I sound so doggone professional.
Right.
You couldn't imagine in your mind. That's what it is.
Right. Because
it's not that I didn't sound black. No, I was so doggone professional on the phone, you just couldn't link it because of your limited imagination.
Right.
So these are moments where I take full advantage to educate and expand their awareness, because now they go like, oh my goodness, yeah, wow. And so I see that as a wonderful opportunity for Black massage therapists to make a difference in society through the work that we do by demonstrating like, oh my goodness, wow. And so what I was going to circle back to is all these moments did for me is when that guy would go back and say, oh, I left my wallet in the car, and never show up again. The way that I released that, I replaced it with, this is just open up an opportunity for something even better for me.
Okay. So
that's how I do it to this day.
Okay.
Is I release that moment.
Okay.
And then I replace it with something even better.
Right.
Like that's freed me up to do something even better.
Right.
Even more. And I think that, and because I think that, I attract it. Because that thought energy, you will attract it. So what I have done in my career is I have just been the very best at it.
Okay.
And so what I say to people, here are your choices. You can either frame it in your mind as I'm seeing a Black massage therapist, or you can frame it in your mind as I'm seeing the very best massage therapist.
Right.
And it's your choice. And because I am 73 now, Devonna, I just say that to people now.
Yeah.
Like I have no time for nonsense.
Nope.
I have no time for nonsense because I don't know when my end day is. So I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to speak my truth. And it's a fact. It's like, hey, you know,
so what happened with that parent that when you came out there, the volleyball parent, what happened with that? Did they still let the daughter see you?
They stayed.
Okay.
I saw the daughter.
Okay.
I produced the cure that they desired. Now, keep in mind, they had been to PTs. They had been to chiropractors. The athletic trainer at their school had seen them. And that doesn't mean that those three professionals aren't very good.
Right.
They just didn't discover what I discovered. That's all.
Yeah. Been there, done that.
Right. Yeah.
I get it.
And so, so they stayed, and I became a hit with her whole team because I think those parents went back and go, oh my goodness, this massage therapist is like, what? Like what? And the other piece for me as an African-American man in particular, as a massage therapist, early on in my career, and I got a lot of grief from the African-American community. Like, why are you like doing that? You touching people? You massaging people? Like you touching people? Like, man, I ain't touching no guys. Come on. Yeah. And so I would always remind the men who would say that to me. I said, do you know that Muhammad Ali gets a massage every day from a man? Okay. Did you know that? And they go like, what? Like, yes. One of the greatest athletes that ever lived. Yes. He has a man massaging him. And that was the analogy that I would always use because Muhammad Ali is one of my great heroes. Yeah, and so I would just say like, hey, you know, Mike Tyson's getting massaged.
All of Well, now everybody knows all the athletes are getting it, at least the high, especially the high paid ones. They have a therapist on staff, like their personal staff. They don't have
Yes,
to
they do.
worry about the team itself. No, I have my person, right?
Hmm.
So, and they come when I need them twice,
Hmm.
a day if needed, right? So, yeah,
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
absolutely. So, to
Yes.
kind of end this podcast, is one more thing I wanted to ask is how do you balance the business aspect of running your practice, right, with your traveling and taking care of your clients and also just managing this whole, how many square feet building again? 10, 10,
10,000 square feet.
10,000. How do you balance that?
Yeah. So the way I balance it, Devana, I had to learn how to do it. I didn't start out knowing how to do it, but the way I do it is I take action. And even my advice to everyone watching this and listening to this is the most important thing is to take action. And it doesn't have to be perfect action, but the most powerful tool that I use for managing all of that is my calendar. So when I calendarize it, when I put it on my calendar, then it gives me the organization and the guidance. So I will put on my calendar when to go home. So I'll put on the calendar 4 p.m., go home. Because my whole life, you as well, all of us who are in this business, we have appointment books, we have calendars, we have things that like I knew that this time on this day,
Right.
I had on my calendar, meet with Devana.
Right.
So it's on my calendar. I had an earlier meeting today to meet with a representative of medical supply company. Because Devana, when it is not on my calendar, there's no organization for
You
me.
don't have to
So
tell me that, Benny. That's my life.
that's the most powerful tool for creating balance. So on my calendar now, before the second annual Black Massage Therapist Conference, which will be in Charlotte, North Carolina, correct?
Yes, on the 8th and
Okay.
9th.
So if you look at my calendar right now, you will see that 17 days before I arrive in Charlotte, you'll see on each day the word Kenya, 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 Kenya. So I have it on my calendar. I'm going to Kenya before I come to that. Now, when I put it on the calendar, then I have to manifest it. Make the airline reservations, make the hotel, make the da da da. So I would close by saying your calendar is your most powerful tool for creating balance in your life, in your career, and into your dreams. Use the calendar because when you put a by when date on there, so if someone says to me, well, Benny, would you be able to da 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 da? I will always say to them, and if you go back and look at any emails that I have sent you where you have asked me something,
Right.
you will notice that I will say, Devana, I will make a list and get it to you by Thursday,
Right.
July, this or that, because I do that for me.
Right.
So when I put a by when date, it creates a certain level of attention and thought energy that's very expansive.
I agree. I agree totally. My family is just a joke in the house. Like I schedule, time to eat. There's alarm, preparing me to come here, be on time, even though it's on my calendar. I also have an alarm to set off to say, okay, start getting ready. So absolutely calendar. Nowadays, everyone, so even for your work calendar, if you work for yourself, you have all these systems like Massage Book. I personally, affiliate with Clinic Sense. You have Vogaro for your appointments, but everything could plug into your Google or your iCal calendar as well. So it's important that you use that. So I want to thank Mr. Benny Vaughn for coming today on our podcast. This is our second session. So I'm getting the hang of it. And so just to let you guys know, so a couple of things for the conference. I have the t-shirt that I'm wearing, the I Am Black History t-shirt. And on the back, it says Black Massage Therapist. So you can get that on the website. The hotel information is on the website. So we have king and beds as well as queen size beds, 2 queen size beds. So if you want to share, you go half. It's $165 per night. That's the discounted rate. We have school grant for those people who are still in school. So please fill out that application. That's on the website. And we've been blessed to have 2 business grant people like AB&P and Your Great Investments. They both gave $1,000 for business grants. So please fill that application out online. And thank you. And we'll see you next time. Bye.